Hello, my name is Dodie Pop, and this is my Lollapalooza 2024 recap. This recap is heavily inspired by Emma Capotis. I really love that she always creates like recaps of festivals she has gone to, and I thought it would be fun to do that for Lollapalooza. I did a really bad job of vlogging it because I was just vibing. I was just there for the vibes, and by vibes I mean rubbing my feet and trying not to have a heat stroke. I have gone to Lollapalooza twice before. I live like 2 hours ish away from Chicago, and I went 10 years ago. I realized in 2014 when I was a baby, and then I went last year for 2 of the days. This year was my first year attempting, big emphasis on attempting, to do all 4 days. I'll get more into why I said attempting moving forward. We stayed in Elk Grove this year. We always in the past have stayed like anytime there's something in the city, we usually stay in a suburb and then take the L in. So that's what we did. But we did drive to the parking lot. We will talk about the parking lot situation later. Here's my wristband. GA, 4 days. We went with GA because we're not paying for more money. Lollapalooza, if you would like to sponsor me or even have me play in the future, even if it's like a tiny stage, I'd be happy with that. One of those little pop-up bar stages. Hit me up. Shout out Mama Pop. She loves EDM music. One of the biggest fans of EDM music I know. So shout out Mama Pop. And then one of my friends, let's just call her V. I don't know if she wants to be shout out in this video, so we'll call her V. So we were all staying at the hotel. We're going for all 4 days. Just through my schedule of everything that I did, I will put in videos where I can, put in pictures to help try to explain stuff better. And I have my notes, so if you see my notes popping in and out, that's why. The first day, which was Thursday, we drove the 2-hour trip. We started that trip around 11. We went straight to the hotel and checked in. So on Thursday was Mama Pop, my friend V, and then my sister and my dad. So all of us went. My sister and my dad drove separately because they were leaving. They were only going one of the days, and that day was Thursday. We drive straight to the hotel, and then we check in. Everyone like uses the bathroom, freshens up, and then we go straight to the L. We stopped at the Rosemont parking lot and went there. I will say that CPT was down on Thursday. I don't know what was up with their system, but it was down. And so we were like trying to get the cards and stuff on our phone, which we've done a lot of times. And it just wasn't working. Also, you couldn't buy any of the like passes or anything like that, like the physical passes. So what the people had everyone doing was just tapping their credit card to like get through. So not that big of a deal. We got there at around 3 o'clock. We wanted to stop at the hydration center pretty bad, and it was pretty busy. And so one of the workers told us to go down to the EDM stage and get water there. So we got water, and then we went straight to the Teen Mobile stage. Tyla was performing. She's the Make Me Sway Make me wanna. Yeah, she was really cool. We brought 2 like blankets. Someone came up and asked us like how we got blankets in, but we had no trouble bringing blankets in. We had like I'll put up a picture of kind of what they look like, but it's like waterproof blankets, so they kind of looked like they could be like a water poncho or something. But we brought those all 3 days that we went in, and we didn't have any trouble bringing them in. Laid out the blankets in a shaded area because the sun was quite brutal. It was really humid that day. The high was 88, which isn't that bad, but it was very humid. And so we laid down in the shade, and then V, my sister, and my mom went and got some food. My dad and I just chilled for a little bit while they went and like looked for food. At that point, I wanted cheesy fries and an icy. They were able to find an icy, and so they brought that back to us. While they were gone, I went to go to the bathroom that was like in between the Perry stage and the T-Mobile stage, and the line was insane. I have never seen lines like this at Lolla. I waited for like 20 or 30 minutes just to use the bathroom, which that never happened again any of the weekends. And there's a lot of bathrooms at Lolla, and so like I've never had to wait for the porta potties or anything like that. Definitely sometimes you go in and you're like, I am not stepping foot in there. And so then you'll wait for another one, but that's the only time I've ever like really waited. And it was kind of chaotic. Like there wasn't a very good system happening. Like I was in line, and like one line would be moving really fast because they would be like using like 5 toilets and stuff, and then there would be then 3 lines next to them, and they were only using like 1 toilet, waiting in line for 1 toilet. So it was kind of mad chaos, and there was like 5 billion lines that were all moving at very different rates. So at that point I was kind of realizing like, oh, they might have oversold. So I heard that I will like insert something if I find out that this is not correct, but I heard that they sold out of tickets on Thursday. And there were some reports that Chapel Rowan set was like one of the largest crowds that they've ever seen at Lollapalooza. And this was the point that I was like, oh, this is the busiest I have ever seen this event. And I went back to the blanket, and at that point the 3 ladies had come back, and we have some ices and hang out. After Tyla's set, we waited for like 30 minutes. So it was like 5:30. We decided to go and stand for Chapel Rowan. And I will try my best to show where we ended up, but we got decent spots. We could see the screens pretty well. I wasn't able to see her at all, but we were able to see the screens really well, and the sound sounded really nice. There was a little bit of sound bleed from the Perry stage, just like when heavy bass would happen and stuff, but it wasn't anything too horrendous. Okay, Chapel Rowan set happened, and it was so much fun. It was an absolute blast. She did so good, and it was so much fun. It was girly pop vibes. It was so much fun. Like everyone was singing every single lyric to every single song.
Would you like magic? I want to the rabbit. So baby, let's get freaky, get kinky. Let's make this magic sticky.
Which is insane. That usually never happens, especially at Lolla. Like most of the time people know like 2 songs of the people that they're seeing, or sometimes none of them, just because it's a festival. And so like if you know one of their songs, you'll probably go and see them because you want to see that one song. And so most of the time people only know like the hits, the classics, the popular songs. but Chapel, like everyone knew every single lyric of every single song. Yeah, it was a blast. HOTTOGO. Hot to go. So much fun. It was awesome to be in the crowd and like literally everyone is doing it. At one point, this is more like a funny thing that happened. Like, obviously, it's not on Lollapalooza. There were these guys who were coming, and like, honestly, maybe early 20s, maybe 20 exactly, maybe 19, honestly. And wanted to like get on the shoulders of the other guy. And so, like, he tried it, and then like the guy dropped him and like pushed over so many people and stuff. And I was like, bold of you to do that during Chapel Rowan. Like, why are you horse playing around while the queen herself is performing? Like, obviously that is not the vibe. Get out of here. That was the only annoying thing. Oh, that, and like there were a lot of people who were like trying to shove forward, but also a lot of people who were trying to get out of the crowd. I could see why a lot of people were probably leaving due to like claustrophobia and stuff, because there was just so many people. Although even though there were a lot of people, people were being quite respectful and not like shoving or anything like that, at least not where I was standing. After that set, how I was talking about the two stages like kind of face each other, and they go like one typically like it'll end and then like the next performer is playing immediately after. And right after Chapel was Mother Kasha herself. What? I'll insert a TikTok right now.
Here we go, lesbians. Here we go, lesbians. Come on. Let's go. Let's go, lesbians. Oh my God, lesbians. Lesbians, move out of my way. Here we go.
That's literally the vibe. Like, the entire crowd just like shifted over to Kesha. It was pure chaos. At that point, my parents went to go get me some food because my blood sugar was dropping. I think so was my dad's. So they went to go find me a hot dog. And we were like, all right, we're going to stay by this pole so you can find me afterwards. I tried to stay by that pole. It was not happening. Everyone was just like running over so they could see Kesha. So it was quite chaotic. My feet were killing me at that point, so I wanted to sit down somewhere. So I kind of backed up closer to the Teen Mobile stage, and there was a patch of grass, and there were a couple people sitting down in the patch of grass. So I just put my blanket like folded a million times. And I just popped a squat, sat down, listened to Kesha. My sister pushed towards the front, and she said that she could see pretty well, and she had a blast. There were so many awesome gay people. She got a Kesha candy bracelet, and I had made some candy that she passed out, so she gave them a Chapel bracelet. Kesha played so many of her classics. It was so much fun. At that point, I was texting my parents like crazy, and the Wi-Fi was like not working. My service was not working. But eventually my parents found me and gave me the hot dog back in the spot that we were sitting in before, because again, the crowds were insane. It was impossible to go anywhere. We texted V and my sister, like, hey, we're back in the old spot, come find us. And at that point, V was like, I'm just chilling. I went to a different set and stuff, and so she was on her own. So my family went, and we went to go find a bathroom that was not super busy, because there was a lot of people condensed towards the stage that Kesha and Chapel had played at. And I was like, there are 5 billion other bathrooms that and stuff. We're going to find one that is less busy. We kind of went, instead of going through like the food area the food area was so condensed. There was like lines everywhere. Like it was insanity. And so we ended up going through like past merch and stuff like that to some bathrooms across the way. At that point, we walked past the BMI stage, which is like a really small stage. We went past the BMI stage and there was so much shade, and I saw a sign that said like pizza. So after we went to the bathroom, we came back to the BMI stage and set out our blanket under some shade. We got some cold water and we ended up having some pizza there because we were all really hungry and we were not about to go to the food, like the food street. I think it's called like Chow Town, because those lines were insane. They were so long. And so we just wanted to sit and eat. And they had pizza at the BMI bar. And it was good enough pizza. It was fine. After that point, V ended up finding my family. And we went to the dessert island. This really good like sorbet. It was raspberry and lemonade flavored. So good. It was so good. And after that, we went over to Hosier's set, and it was literally like just starting. It was like 8:30, I think. And we went over and it was packed. And the sound bleed was horrible. Like we couldn't get past the street. And so we were just trying to like listen at the very back, and all we could hear was like the other stage. We couldn't really hear him at all. And so then we all were like, you know what, whatever, we'll go to the bathroom. And so we went over to the bathroom area by that stage, the Bud Light stage. And we went to the bathroom and the acoustics were way better. We could see the screen and we could hear him. And so we just chilled in like the porta potty area for a little bit. We were so tired. And so we left early because we like couldn't even see or hear Hosier really. Yeah. And so then we left early, which was nice because the train was not packed at all and there was no line getting out. Friday, we woke up, we got ready, and we went. We went back to the Rosemont station, parked, took the L in, and we got in at about 12:30. I wanted to see Exandra's set because I'm a female DJ and I like watching female DJs. So yeah, I really wanted to see her set, and also she released a song recently and I wanted to see if she would sing it live or what she was going to do with that. I was curious. We went straight to the Perry stage, and we set out our blanket at the back of the stage. There's a whole bunch of trees in that area, and so we just sat on a blanket. We only brought one blanket since there was only 3 of us, and we laid the blanket down and we got all tucked in. We got all cozy. I put on sunscreen. We filled up our water packs. It was chill. Her set was good. I really liked her set. She played a whole bunch of like kind of throwback songs and stuff, like 90s, early 2000s, which was fun. And then she closed with her new song. She didn't end up singing it, but she did play it, which was fun. I got some tacos that just really filled my soul. They were really good. I did end up filming them. They were so good. And I think that I must have looked like I was really enjoying the tacos because a lady did come up to me after I finished the tacos and she's like, I didn't want to ask you while you were enjoying those tacos, but I really want to know where you got them. We were just vibing. We were hanging out with everyone who was just vibing in the forest, in the trees. You know, the shade was nice. It was pretty sunny that day. It had rained pretty bad the night before, so it was quite muddy on Friday, which definitely made us appreciate our waterproof blanket. Saw Twin Sick. They were all right. Not necessarily my vibe, but it was still pretty fun. Before Twin Sick finished, we decided to head over to the main merch tent. That was about 2:00 that we did that. There was kind of a long line happening. However, we remembered this from last year. If you link your bracelet, if you link it to either PayPal or Venmo, they have skip the line, which is so nice. And we had done this last year, and we didn't realize that you could skip the line until after we had waited in line forever. And then we were like, why are all these people skipping? And they're like, oh, they're connected to PayPal or Venmo. And I was like, we are too. So learn my lesson. You can skip the line. You just have to go further over, like more towards the band merch. And there's usually someone with like a little thing, and it says express line for people who have it connected to PayPal or Venmo. Yeah, so if you're gonna pay with those, you can skip the line. That's all I'm trying to say. It was air conditioned in there, which was beautiful. I got a pin. Let me see if I can show it. It's on my pin board, like right over here. Cute. It has like a bear eating a soda can. And then I got this shirt, which has the little dude on it, and then it has all of the bands like on the back. We got the stuff we wanted. They had a really cute sweatsuit that I was very tempted to get, but we didn't want to carry it around the entire weekend, so we decided not to get that. After that, we went to the BMI stage again, because we were very hot from the sun. They were setting up for someone, and we were like, oh, we didn't know that someone was going to play. I made a joke earlier that I had never seen someone play at that stage. I was like, maybe it's a myth. Maybe they don't actually play. But Ava maybe came and played. She was pretty good. She has a nice voice. I think she was on American Idol or something. Yeah. And it was funny because there were some drunk guys on the L the night before talking about how the drummer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers' daughter was going to perform at Lollapalooza, and they didn't know her name. Turns out it was Ava maybe. Then we went to Lave.
My name is pronounced Leve.
I'm so sorry. I'm so bad. I'm like Kelly Clarkson trying to pronounce her name. Oh my God. It was insane. She played with the Chicago Symphony, Chicago Philharmonic. I think it was the Philharmonic. And it was incredible. I'm a classical music girly. I started singing classical music when I was like 13. Went to school for music, so I sang opera throughout it, sang with orchestras all the time and stuff. So it was really, really fun for me to see like kind of a marriage of the two worlds, because I love like festivals and stuff, and so seeing an orchestra at a festival was insane. It was my friend V's first time seeing like a symphony in person, and so it was so cool, like her getting to experience that, and I think it was a lot of other people's first time seeing a symphony. It was so beautiful to see how quiet the audience was. Everyone was like just in the moment, like just silently like in awe. She kept telling us to sing and stuff, and everyone was like singing with like pretty voices, like nobody was screaming the lyrics or anything, and so it was really beautiful. I do have to say the Bacardi stage, we could hear some sound bleed, which is extra bad because I was quite close to the stage, so I can't imagine if you were much further back, how bad that could have been. But we could definitely hear some bass and stuff like that, which kind of took us out. However, whoever decided to make her perform during sunset gets a raise. It was beautiful. Saw Stray Kids after. I do have to say this was probably the worst crowd I was in the whole weekend. It was just it was weird vibes. People kept like really shoving forward, and so we were pretty pressed in. Some people tried to sit down as like we were crushed together, which I mean, I ended up like kneeling for a second because my feet were throbbing too. But it made it even harder to like stand because people were when you sit, you take up more space. And so it was kind of awkward because like if everyone's sitting around you, you have like, you're like standing on one foot. But again, I sat down for a little bit too because my feet were throbbing when a couple people stood up. I like squatted for a hot sec, so I get it. But yeah, there were a lot of pushing, a lot of people. Let me just say, if you notice that a crowd is getting really busy and people are shoving together, that is not the time to like go get a drink. That is not the time to go to the bathroom or anything like that. Like right before the concert, it's going to be really hard to get to a spot. And so there were a lot of people who were like, I just went to the bathroom and I'm trying to get up to my friend and stuff. And it's like, I can't form new space for you. Like, it's a lot easier to like let someone out because they're making more space, but to let people in, I can't create more space for them because I'm very limited to my own space. And so there were a lot of people who were like, oh, my friend is up there, my whatever is up there and stuff. And it's like, I'm trying to let you through, like genuinely. I don't want you to not be able to like go stand by your friends, but like there's not really much I can do. Like, but Stray Kids performed so good. It was so fun seeing them. Where we were standing, we were kind of close to like the very back barricade, behind like the sound booth, and I could like barely see the tops of their heads. I could see them. They had like a riser, and so I could see them when they got on the riser, but when they were like on the actual stage, I was like, I think I can see them. I think that's Ian. I was kind of happy about. They performed all of my favorite I like a lot of their older songs, and so I was having a blast, although a lot of people were like, oh, I thought they were gonna play more of their newer stuff. Yeah, they had a live band. They had a band for a tiny bit of their set during the Maniac tour when I saw them, but even then they had like backing tracks with the band, and so the band just kind of like added on top of the backing tracks. So it was really cool seeing that. They did a really fun kind of like, I want to say like a vaudeville almost inspired version of Backdoor, which I love the song Backdoor because it's already kind of like musical theater, like 1930s hustlin' type of music. That orchestration of it, and the way that it was arranged was really, really fun. Also, hearing Charmer with a live band was so fun. That's my absolute favorite song by them. They did have an 1.5 hour long set, which is different than most of the bands. Most of the bands only have an hour long set. Yeah, and so it was really interesting because like after an hour, the fireworks and stuff went off and it seemed like the finale, and then they were like, okay, bye, and then they walked off stage and we're like, you still have 25 minutes. And so then they came back out and they performed a song that they had already performed, and after that song they were like, bye. And then they left and we're like, okay, now you have like 15 minutes left of the set. And so then they came back on and they were like, okay, hi, let's perform another one. And so then they performed another one and then said goodbye again. And we were like, okay, bye. And like every single time they said goodbye, like a bunch of people left. And so like people were like clearing out because they were like, why is everyone still here? And I'm like looking at my watch like, we still have like 20 minutes. Then they did it one more time and they were like, Lollapalooza has a curfew and stuff. And I'm like looking at my watch and I'm like, yeah, in 10 minutes they have a sound curfew. And they were like, we're gonna break the rules for you. I'm like, what rules are you breaking? We still have 10 more minutes. And so then they performed a song that I don't think they performed on their set. And then they were like, okay, now we're actually leaving. And then the 10 o'clock mark hit, which there's a sound curfew. That's why Lollapalooza ends at 10 o'clock. And so they were like talking, they were saying goodbye in their mics, like goofing off and stuff. And then at 10 o'clock, the sound engineers just shut off all of their mics. And so they're like, the cameras are still showing them and they're like talking clearly into the mics, but like we can't hear anything. There's no sound. And then it was crazy because then we like walk out and at the Bacardi stage, there was still a band playing. And then we could hear SZA still playing. So I don't know, maybe because they were still in the middle of songs, they didn't cut them off, but it was just kind of weird because like they completely muted their mics and then we walk out and like other bands are still playing music actively. I just looked at my notes and remembered I have to talk about this. Friday was one of the only nights that we went back with the crowd. So we went to the Jackson station. There was a train that was really, really stuffed. But I like looked over at the like time things and it said that there was another train like coming in 1 minute. And so I was like, let's just let that train go and we'll see what the next one looks like. Next train came and it was like empty. So we went on that one. It was all good. It was all chill. Someone grabbed it while it was trying to leave. And pried one of the doors open, and so people were flooding into that, so that delayed the train, which was fine. It happens on public transportation. We get to the station and I don't know what was wrong with the parking lot passes or what was happening, but we ended up having to wait in the parking lot in line to get out for an hour and a half. Like, again, things happen. There were some people who like had sunroofs and they were like blasting EDM music and they were like out of the sunroofs like dancing and like trying to hype everyone up, which was so cute and so sweet, because nobody wanted to be stuck there, but we were all stuck. And so we get back to the hotel, I take a shower and I just like pass out. I'm so tired. Yeah, I heard IVE did incredible. I wanted to see them really bad, but that was not happening. I could not be around people. And I heard that Saturday was sold out. And I was like, I cannot deal with another sold out day. And all of the acts we wanted to see were being live streamed. So we were like, we'll definitely be able to find videos of these acts. And we're definitely not shoving close enough to see better than the screens anyway. We decided to stay at the hotel for that day and we ended up going shopping instead. So yeah, so we went to Miniso. We got Annie M's, we got Portillo's, and we just chilled at the hotel. I'm gonna do a quick Miniso haul since I don't have anything to tell you about Saturday. So that's what I got. So we went to a mall and ate some pretzels, which were delicious. Ate some Portillos. We swam at the pool. Insert video of me swimming. Rest, relaxation, revitalized. I ended up going to bed at like 9 o'clock that night, which was much, much needed. Sunday, we woke up, we packed our stuff because we were going to drive back right after leaving. We went to the Rosemont stop, and the line was really long at Rosemont, and people were struggling to get the tickets. Like, the tickets weren't coming out of the machines, and we had flashbacks to being stuck in the parking lot for an hour and a half, and we were like, let's go to a different stop. We ended up going to the Cumberland stop, and Cumberland is one stop before Rosemont when coming back. And that stop was actually way nicer. They had 3 things for the exit. One of them wasn't working. Instead of 1, Rosemont only has 1 exit working. And Cumberland had 3 exits that were working. They also had an entire parking garage, which was very nice. We got into Lolla at 2 o'clock, and we ended up going straight to the Perry stage and put down our blanket in the shade again. I can't remember who we ended up seeing. I'll put their name. But I also wanted to see them because, again, female DJ. I try to catch as many female DJs as I possibly can. And it was awesome seeing them. Oh, I also bought a hat on this day. My scalp was starting to get sunburned, and I had been thinking about that I wanted to get a bucket hat. So I decided to get a recycling bag, and I was going to try to get a free t-shirt by picking up cans because I was like, I want a task. I ended up finding one of the recycling bags just like on the ground, and I was like, yep, that's a sign I need to do this. So I started collecting cans, and I like walked back and forth in the shaded areas where everyone was sitting because that's where I found the most cans. Like I would just walk by with the bag, and everyone who had cans would just lift them up and I would go and grab them from them. We met some really nice people who were lovely, and I gave them some of my logo stickers. Hello, I hope you're doing well if you see this. Hi. I enjoyed talking to you guys. We got some more food. I got tacos again. Again, delicious. And I collected what I thought was enough cans, went over, and they had both of the t-shirts in stock at that point. And I really wanted the purple one. And the guy took the bag and was about to tie it. And then he was like, actually, you need some more cans. And I was like, oh, okay. As my arm is like asleep from carrying so many cans. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. And so then I like went around and got more cans from people who were sitting down, and then that probably took me like 20 minutes. And then when I came back, he took my bag and he was like, we only have the red shirt available. I was like, dang it. So I did get a free shirt, but it was not the one that I wanted. But I'm happy I was able to collect cans. Will I do it again? Probably not. I was exhausted. Here's what it looks like. It says, I helped keep Lollapalooza green, and all I got was this t-shirt. Ta-da! I'll probably just sleep in this shirt. The other one was really cute. It had like an art design on it. It had like the skyline with Blue Cross always does stay safe Lolla. And so it said stay green Lolla, which was cute. I do, however, love that it has all of the bands on the back. And also, all they had was a 2X. I was terrified that I was going to go up and then they were going to have was an extra small. Because they were like, we only have one size. And I was like, oh no, it's going to be an extra small. And I'm going to, I don't know, have to find one of my tiny friends who hasn't even gone to Lollapalooza and give it to them. Nope. All they had was a 2X. I'm like, thank you. I will definitely take that. After that, I got dessert. I went to Dessert Island and got the sherbet again. And we went over to the EDM stage, and my friend went to go see, oh my God, what was that band called? I'll put it here. She went and saw them. That was like the biggest name that she wanted to see that day. And that's one of the main reasons why we went that day was because she really wanted to see them. And so my mom and I just stayed at the EDM stage. We saw Black Tiger Sex Machine, BTSM, and they were like a duo and they were wearing masks. I had never heard them before, but they were awesome. And then I also saw White Fang, which is Alice's other name she goes by sometimes when she plays more experimental stuff. Yeah. So it was so cool seeing her. It was fun. I ended up going like towards the front for part of White Fang set and bopped around for a little bit. Black Tiger Sex Machine, and they were so fun. They had like little anime clips in between, which was really fun. I went back to the blanket and sat down for most of that. And then it started getting like pretty like heavy music, and I was like, I really want a mosh pit. So then I moved to the front to try to mosh. But then I got a text that they were ready to leave. And I was happy to leave early. So we ended up leaving at 8:00, and we went back on the L. There was nobody on it really. So no problems, got back. And Cumberland was really easy to get out of. So, yeah. And then I came home and took a real quick shower and passed out. I was exhausted. That was my recap of what happened. My highlights would have to be seeing Lave live with the orchestra. So good. Sorry, with the symphony. Yeah, it was so cool seeing her and being in that setting. Worst part, probably waiting in the bathroom line for 20 minutes. That was no fun. Have a wonderful time. Stay safe. And I will see you soon. Bye.